Christian Wilkins. All right. Christian Wilkins' situation looks like it's getting even more serious now. All right. I think we need to prepare for him to be gone for real. I don't see a ninth hour where they sign a long-term deal. I mean, it's possible, but they probably have to offer him exactly what he wants. Otherwise, Christian Wilkins is hitting free agency, and there's going to be a multitude of teams that are highly likely to snatch him up for the price that he wants. Someone made me laugh so hard yesterday when I went online. You know, they put a video of two guys hysterically going crazy, laughing, falling on the ground. And I'm like, what is this about? And then I read the caption. And the caption said, the only first round pick that Greer ended up signing on a long-term deal since he took over was Austin Jackson. And that tells you all you need to know. Insane. Insane. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. But hey, here we are in this situation now. Christian Wilkins might be on his way out. I'm hoping something happens in the next, 8 days because, well, first of all, the franchise tag situation, I think you have until tomorrow or something like that. And I'll look that up in just a moment. Tag situation in a moment, okay? And I'm pulling it up as I talk, by the way. But yeah, franchise tag deadline 2024. March 5th. Oh, tomorrow. So we're going to know a lot tomorrow. If they don't tag Christian Wilkins by tomorrow, then the only way out is giving him the big deal if he accepts it. It's that simple. The only way is to give him the big deal. And is that what Chris Grier wants to do? We're going to definitely keep our eye on this situation. And tomorrow we're going to come back or Wednesday after it's all said and done. And we'll talk about the options then and what they're going to do. Man, oh man, this is getting serious. It's like we're like, nah, they ain't gonna let him walk. Just let him walk, And then, everybody say, well, Chris Greer, he's gonna at least get a third round compensatory pick. Here's the crazy part about that. If you're going after compensatory pick, you have to be at a deficit. What that means is you let a high quality player into free agency. But if you bring in any players of the same caliber or they end up being the same caliber via free agency, you don't get a compensatory pick. You only get a compensatory pick of the deficit you were at. So let me give you an example. Say you let Christian Wilkins walk in free agency because you're going after a third round compensatory pick. But then you bring in Aaron Jones. You ain't getting no compensatory pick. That's how that works. It's what did you lose versus you brought in, and then they have a scale that tells you what you're eligible for a compensatory pick. So the reason why that bothers me is in free agency, how active is he going to be if he let Christian Wilkins walk? Because if you're going to be trying to be heavily active and try to spend money, then you're offsetting what you can benefit from the compensatory pick, even though we don't have the money like that anyway to be crazy spenders in free agency. This whole thing is just a mess. Like, our books are jacked up. Do you notice everybody out here debating our financials? That only points to one man. He put us in this situation. Why? Because first of all, he missed on so many draft picks that were supposed to replace some of these stars. And then when he realized he missed, he had to go replace them anyway and go spend even more money on big stars. Ramsey was a straight up draft pick miss. When you talk about Cam Smith and Noah Igbenogany. These are facts. There's too many situations like this up and down the roster. Teron Armstead was a pickup only because he missed on Austin Jackson at the left tackle position. It's ridiculous. Jay Stone said, TD, you starting to sound like a broken record. Yeah, because this is the news. This is all we have. There ain't nothing new. But now we're walking. See, the reason why I sound like a broken record is because I predicted this stuff before it even went down. I'm just here sounding like a broken record now. I'm telling you, remember I told you about this? Remember I warned you about this last year, the year before that? We shouldn't be making this move. We're only making this move because Chris Grier failed, and this is going to put us in a bad position a year from now or 2 years from now. Do you remember that? So instead of sounding like a broken record, maybe it should be, TD, you sounded like you were right all this time. Because now all the other people who do streams, all the other writers, they're saying what I'm saying now, but they don't sound like a broken record because they were telling you one thing before and now they telling you a whole different thing. So what, they get that benefit now that it's fresh for them? No, that's right. I'm going to sound like a broken record because I've been telling you all this before it even went down. I'm always up on stuff ahead of time because I evaluate this team in its entirety and what's expected to happen based off of the decisions we make. It don't mean it's going to always happen that way, but I go off of probability versus possibility. You're getting all of this content of possibility, and are you taking notes on how many of these possibilities presented to you never come to fruition? But I'm giving you content on the probability, the likelihood of situations, and I'm having a high success rate of calling it. I got to get knocked for it. I got to get knocked for it. Jay, stop bringing up that Culpepper stuff. I don't even remember when Culpepper paid for us. I think I remember. I watching them, but I don't even remember that man. Listen, at the end of the day, this is a sad thing because the Miami Dolphins should be in a position where they can pay Christian Wilkins. That's all I'm saying. We should have been in a position where we could have paid him his money and had done so comfortably. Or is he even worth it? We can go to that conversation too. Is he worth it? See, I feel like he's a casualty as well, where Christian Wilkins ain't worth $25 million a year. I want y'all to get that straight now. He's not worth $25 million a year. But the market dictates that he is. But y'all know how I feel about the market. At some point, you got to buck the market and say, I don't care what the market say. I know what you're worth, and I'm not paying more than that. So in that regards, you know, you can respect what Chris Grier's doing, but it's just sad that he didn't have a contingency plan all this time. He never had a contingency plan, and that's failure on his behalf. I'm not mad that he's not going to pay him, but look at the position you put the team in all this time. Because you failed at so many positions, you couldn't have a contingency plan. You had to worry about other positions just from the starters. And that's where the issue comes from in this entire situation. No, Christian Wilkins ain't worth no $25 million. But it's funny to me how fans will say, he ain't worth 25, so don't pay it. But we know Tua ain't worth no 55, but we'll holler, well, the market dictates it, though. Stop. It's a contradiction, okay? But that's your latest on Christian Wilkins situation, ladies and gentlemen.